and ready. What is the way forward to help us get away from these political ancestors? Is it for us to, is it for APC to, pull the stunts to do something that no one saw coming? Or is it for Labour Party, or is it for Goodluck Jonathan to step in? What do you think is the way forward?
Yes, Atiku is a very strong candidate. Someone that put about 12 million votes in the last election. You can't just dismiss him with a wave of hand. Whether we like him, whether I like him, whether I see him as a political ancestor or not, whatever my perception may be about him, this is in politics, even someone that can put 500,000 votes is a major factor. And this is someone who scored about 12 million votes in the last election. So we cannot dismiss him. He's a major factor in the election. The PDP has been here for a very long time. They are solid in terms of grassroots. But Rome was not built in a day. The Labour Party and other political parties, can put structures together and do the needful and try to salvage the country. The APC and the PDP, they are not fundamentally different. Because if you look at all that is going on in the country today, and the rot, especially look at all the primaries going on in the country, you discover that both of them, they are doing almost the same thing, chasing themselves up and down, jumping up and down, sharing money from one voting spot to the other, just doing the same thing. And the people that have been worse off in the whole thing is PDP. How can an opposition party be selling party tickets to people? So if I want to serve Nigeria now, I must bring out money to buy PDP tickets. So you can imagine. And if somebody is buying the ticket of a political party, when he gets to power, why should that person serve the people? Because it was a business transaction. He has bought the office, so he should naturally be making profit from the office. So that is the challenge. And talking about way forward, I think the way forward is for Nigerians to come together, aggregate their interest. The whole idea is that there are too many third force people jump here and there, so it makes it so difficult. You have NPP, you have Mogalu, you have then we have now Peter Obi, who is one of in my view, the best candidate. He's the best candidate because he's someone that understands the economy. So, but you need to have a consensus to call for how people come together to aggregate their interests. Everybody must not be president of the country. If we love the country so much, we need somebody to fix power. We need somebody to be in charge of EFCC so that people will not be able to steal money. We need somebody to be in charge of the economy. We need somebody to help run the railway system. We need people to help run the educational system. So why must everybody be president? So this is my view.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Yes, that made a lot of sense. And before I ask the third question, I like the way you always lead into the question I'm about to ask, because that shows that the conversation flows. So now you said it in your last answer, while you spoke, that Peter Obi seems, or you believe, is the best candidate for this. Peter Obi, and not just you, the millions of Nigerians you see on Twitter also seem to think the same. So, what do you think now would be the best option? Because a lot of people are against the idea of him moving to Labour Party. They feel it's a party, regardless of the fact that it is not cast in stone, that parties should, a person's party influences the level of performance in their election. You can't just bring up any new party that people don't know and expect to do really well. Do you think this school of thought is right? Or do you think it's strictly about the person and not the party?
Yes, basically it's a combination of both, because you need party agents to protect the votes. If no matter who the person running is, even in America and the US, it's the same thing. You need strong, solid structure everywhere. You need people who prevent rigging. You need people everywhere. You need to have agents in Daura, in Borno, in everywhere. Everywhere. You need to have agents everywhere. So for me, I believe that it was important. It is important to identify what the issues are, and also to find ways to how you can solve them. I sincerely believe that if all the other people outside PDP and APC will come together to form like a coalition, of some sort, they will not really be able to pose a serious challenge to the APC. Because if it was just maybe like in just one state, it is possible. But because the country is so large, so huge in land mass and everything, it will be difficult to police the votes,
Yes.
and because of the propensity of our politicians to cheat, to rig, to do all these evil things on election day, it will be almost impossible to stop the two main money bag political parties. However, it's not an impossible task. It's just to get the critical mass and then, majority Nigerians into this, and it will be doable.
Yes. Thank you so much for that. So, others who have questions, who want to speak, please go ahead. I saw Abdul taking off his mic, putting on his mic, so you can feel free to ask your questions as well. The floor is open, so long as you're a speaker, and if you're not a speaker, feel free to send your request. Yeah. So, that's
Good
Tech
evening.
Monk. Please go ahead.
I have some questions I want to ask regarding this
So,
PDP primary election, as they took at Atiku as their presidential bearer. Please, I want Uncle Deji Adeyanju to answer this question. Is it safe for Nigeria as a whole for Atiku to become our next president? And just let me just talk based on your view, not as a politician. Please talk. I want to hear from you direct, sir.
If it is safe for him to be the president of Nigeria, is that the
okay.
question?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you all know my stand already, that these political ancestors should not be allowed to be president. Atiku, Tinubu, all these people, they are political ancestors. You understand? We should be looking for new people, new ideas. I don't know why at this point, if not that our country is doomed, we are in a fix. You understand? And again, I blame many people from the Southwest. They know that it is the turn of the Southeast to be president. Everybody knows. The Yoruba man is currently the vice president of Nigeria. He's about to complete 8 years. We all know in this country that equity demands that South produce the next president of this country. Then everybody started coming out from all parts of the country to contest for president. And we were talking about zoning the thing to the South. If we were sincere about zoning of presidency to the South, shouldn't we all, both in PDP and APC, shouldn't we all have supported the Southeast to produce the next president? Are we saying that there are no competent people in the Southeast? Do you know how many people from the Southeast have declared to run for president, both in PDP and APC? Look at the governor of Ebonyi State, Dave Umahi. Go to Ebonyi, go and see the kind of work that guy has done there. Are we saying that kind of person is not competent to rule Nigeria? Look at Peter Obi. Look at all the people that have declared to run for president in the Southeast. But it is Ashiwaju and Oshibajo that people from majority of the people from Southwest political stakeholders were canvassing for. Rotimi Akeredolu came out to say power Southwest must produce. He used the word must produce the next president. Why would you say such a thing?
But my question is, will it possible for even southwest and south and even southeast to pull this thing? Even if the all not support Atiku, will it possible for southwest, southeast, and south to make this thing happen? How do you mean they come together as a party?
My brother, listen, look at what happened yesterday at the PDP convention. Even the people from the people in PDP from South did not support Wike.
Sure.
The governor of Akwa Ibom did not support his own brother Wike.
I saw that.
Half of Cross River did not support Wike. Edo did not support almost the majority of people from Edo did not support him. Bayelsa did not support him. Delta did not support him.
That means we are not unit. You are not united. We need to find. You need to fight on that unification first. But
So
we can't go anywhere.
why will this is why I keep saying it, and people start insulting me and criticizing me. Why will a Yoruba man is vice president? Why will you go? Why will you, knowing that Nigeria is so divided, knowing that the fault lines are so visible, why will you just still go and purchase form? Knowing
one thing
all
I know
the
about
divisions in the country, why will Asiwaju go and purchase form? Why are people? Why did Fayose go and purchase
those
form?
people they are self-centered. I know that one. They are self-centered. They can't do. I want you to understand something. It's not possible for you to just tell them that not to contest. You understand? But hadn't been there was a
Is it
unification.
not Tambuwa that stepped down for Atiku?
Yes, because
It's not a northerner.
the
Why
northerners,
couldn't
the northerners
Udom step
know
down for
that.
Atiku? Why couldn't Udom step down for Atiku?
Yeah, because they have
Why?
their own, they have their own
Sorry, for
agenda about
Wike.
it.
Why couldn't Udom step down for Wike? Why couldn't all the other people from South or Southern Nigeria, why couldn't they support him?
I don't think we can
You have
go
a
to
point there.
anywhere without
You have a
unification.
point.
I don't think so. I don't think so. But we need to
Osita, please
work
go ahead.
as a team. We are running against ourselves. Definitely the not
Can I
in
speak?
power till 2028. I'm talking about it.
Yeah, once he rounds up, you can go ahead, Osita. Please, go on.
I
Okay.
was supposed to speak. Can I?
Okay, Tech
Yeah.
Monk, please go ahead. After you, Osita will speak.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Edmond. I've heard your submission. You have been very, very consistent with your call for a person of southeastern extract to become the major flag bearers of both political parties coming into the 2023 election. You've been very consistent with that from day one. And I want to say, as far as civil society is concerned in Nigeria, you are one of the front runners. You are like the face of civil society in Nigeria. So within the covers of your own power, what can you do to help or to facilitate? Because as it seems right now, I don't think there's any other route to offsetting or taking power from these two major political parties without a kind of a merger. So within the covers of your own power, how can you what can be your input? How can you help to facilitate a kind of a merger between maybe the ADC and the Labour Party and some other parties like that, knowing fully well that you also have the support of people like Obi Ezekwesili, Aisha Yusufu, and some other very influential.
Oh, he's partisan. He's campaigning for Obi. Oh, he's campaigning for this person. Is the no. I'm saying it's just like what I said. I said I identify Atiku and Tinubu. I said these people, they are political ancestors. They've been contesting all their life. These Nigerians should reject them. And I gave reasons why Nigerians should just reject them. I also came and said, he who comes to equity must come with clean hands. I said, if we are talking about unity, fairness, equity, Southeast should naturally have the right of first refusal. And I explained, I give reasons why. And I also said, if we are talking about zoning, any zoning that does not put Southeast at the heart of it is a fraud. I came again and said, the South must unite. And the only unity that can make sense is if we unite and queue behind the Southeast. And I gave reasons why. And I said, if people from other zones like Southwest contest, then the Northerners too will feel that everybody can contest. It's an open contest. And that is exactly what has happened now. Let's even go to the Southwest where people are expressing political greed. Look at it today. Even the Southwest is divided. You have Tinubu running. You have Osibajo running. You have Fayemi running. You have Amoso running. You have all these people in the Southwest running. None of them is willing to step down for each other. It's greed. They had a meeting in Lagos with all the Southwest leaders. All of them came and said they will not step down for each other. And this is where the North beats us at it. They beat us at politics. Look at what Tabua did yesterday for his brother Atiku. Why couldn't the PDP people from the southern extraction, why couldn't they do it? You understand? So, and I'm going to repeat it, that any zoning that does not put Southeast at the heart of it in terms of equity is fraud.
Yes. Do you get it now? Tech Monk. Do you get
Yeah,
it now?
yeah. I was quite specific. So I've listened to your submission. I've heard this before. But what I'm saying is, okay, if you are saying you don't want to be seen as partisan now, I understand. But I was thinking maybe there was something you could do.
Yes, in terms of in terms of addressing the issue you raised, I believe that the best way, it's not a straight jacket approach. You know, the best way we can go about it is to say, oh, let people come together. If people fail to come together, we may not be successful. However, you can start, sometimes politics and governance is like planting a seed. You can start now, make progress, so that when the next election cycle comes, we may now have been able to achieve a lot that we can build on, and we can now become successful. But for us to sit down and do nothing, no, that is completely unacceptable. That all the critical voices and the people who are dissatisfied with the way things are currently in the country should come together, rally around someone like Peter Obi or any candidate. Because sometimes if you now say, oh, they should rally around Peter Obi, all the other third force people will be saying, why not Konkoso? Why not Mogalu? Why not Showore? Why not this? Why is Deji partisan? Why is Deji doing this? Why is Deji supporting only Peter Obi? Why is no? But I personally believe that among them, in terms of somebody who has a plan, who is this, who is ready, who can solve our economic problems, and the economic problems are connected to the security problems, is Peter. So I believe this is my own personal belief. I'm not saying that people should go and campaign. I'm not campaigning for him. I'm not saying Nigerians should vote for him. No, I'm just expressing a view, and I'm expecting that people should get ready to get PVCs. These are the ways that we can ensure that victory is certain. People should talk to others. We should try and bring all the critical stakeholders together, and we should try and see how, because sometimes you look at it, after all, Buhari tried to be president for 16 years before he succeeded. So there is nothing bad in planting seeds now, and these seeds, there's the propensity that these seeds will eventually germinate politically.
Yes, thank you so much for that. Osita, go ahead. You can go ahead.
Okay, good day, comrade.
Dr. Toye, you're next.
Yeah, so I have like three questions. I have three questions. But the first thing I want to ask is, you've been talking about this Southeast presidency. Your friend Showore is not from the Southeast. I don't know how you felt. I've seen sometimes, I've seen how you've been a little bit cold towards his presidency on Facebook. You understand? But have you actually advised him? Have you actually advised him to pitch his tent with someone from the Southeast? That's my first question. And then secondly, so many people are confusing this Southeastern presidency of the thing. So many people are actually getting a little so many things wrong about it. First things, APC and President Muhammad Buhari, he doesn't want. They have a tactic of divide and rule. If you listen to Pa Ayo Adebanjo of Afenifere, he said he told Tinubu, "Do you believe this man will make you president, no matter the promises he made you?" That he has told all the Southerners, all the prominent Southerners in APC to go and contest, thereby depleting Tinubu's or whichever Southerner that's planning to contest. And of course, so many people are actually blind with the fact that the current Senate president, who is from a zone that is yet to produce the president of Nigeria, is contesting. You understand? So my problem there is so many people are getting these things confused. You understand? The true stand of APC is that of the northern cabal is that they want to continue that divide and rule strategy. You understand? Divide these people, cause disharmony between even when at the end of the last year, when the southern governors kept on having meetings, the north was always against those meetings. You understand? And
Yeah, Osita,
the main
what's your
problem we
third
have in
question? Sorry.
yes, and the third problem we have in the east is that we don't vote. We have the numbers just like every other region in this country. We have the numbers. You understand? But the problem is that we don't vote. They can barely leave their shop to go and register for a PVC. You understand? So that is my problem. I don't know how we're going to sensitize the Easterners. You get? I don't know how we are going to do it. But we Easterners, we don't vote. On election day, we'll be playing football. Some people will play football on the streets and all that. We don't vote. You understand? And that's our
All
problem.
right. Thank you, Osita. But I'm very much interested like, I love all these questions, and I like the fact that you use the opportunity to also say your mind, give advices, drop your own 2 cents as well. But the one I really want to hear comrades take on is the one regarding his friendship with Yele Showore, and how he's mediating that whole situation. Is he also, comrade, are you also telling Yele Showore that things about the Igbo presidency, encouraging him to take a step back, or are you just looking the other way and allowing him to do what he feels, and with time he's going to understand? What's your take on that?
Showore is insulting everybody. Showore is insulting even P2B, everybody, and that's the problem.
Yes, he knows my stand. Everybody, all Nigerians know my stand on the 2023 election. Everybody know that on Igbo presidency I stand. So if you are my friend and you know my stand, that this is my stand, then I believe that you should also respect my stand. Though he's entitled to his opinion, he's entitled to his belief, he's entitled to his political aspiration, but this is my stand. This is my stand. This is the Jadenyoju stand. And I want posterity to judge me. The God who created the heaven and the earth, who created all of us, sees my heart. He knows that I am sincere. And God knows that what I'm doing is right. So,
Yes.
and if Nigerians who know that there is a tomorrow, every Nigerian know that anything we do in this life, there will be repercussion for it. Even when you know what you are doing is wrong, but you continue to do it, you know deep down your heart, you know that this thing that you are doing is wrong. All them Ashaju and Oshibajo that came out to an Amosun, all of them that came out to contest, they know deep down in their heart that this thing they are doing is wrong. They know that they are shortchanging the Southeast. They deep down in their heart, they know, because look at all the secession agitation that has been going on in the last 3 years. Is at the peak. People are saying they don't want to be, they want Biafra, and we are seeing the division in the country. Instead of us to unite against our Igbo brothers, everybody from Southwest started going to go and purchase form, left, right, center. So for me, this is my stand. It is my stand. I have no apology to anybody for my stand. You understand? And I'm going to continue to stand my ground to say the Southeast, they should naturally have the right to first refusal in this matter. If you look at what somebody just said on Twitter, somebody said Atiku did not insult Peter Obi, Tabua did not insult Peter Obi, this person did not insult Peter Obi when he left PDP, but it was his fellow Ikwere brother that insulted him.
Wow. That's something to think about. That's something to ponder on for a while.
Indeed.
And okay, let's go on. Please, everyone, the comrade has just 30 minutes left to be with us. So let's try to make our questions brief, and let's just go straight to the point. So he will attend to as many people as possible before he leaves. So, Dr. Toye, please go ahead.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Deji. You've been quite consistent over the years, and I feel your passion. I feel your pain. I also share the same perspective with you. Candidly, I must say that the Nigerian political space is largely determined by ethnic and religious bias. And that is what is currently affecting our ability to make progress politically and economically. I also got my heart broken when a few people that I respected so much came out and said they wanted to run for office. I've been a Kingsley Moghalu fan, not because of his ability to speak English, but because he's one person that represents the ideals we want to see in a Nigerian president. Then I was blown away when Peter Obi courageously came out and said he wanted to run for presidency under the PDP. And I was expecting that we all should rally around a candidate like that and get the ball rolling. But this is where the missing link is. The missing link is that whilst we were all sleeping at night, the politicians were making the strategy, they were planning things 10 years ago, 5 years ago, planning what we are seeing today. They were planning towards what they expect our reactions to be. And like they just said, he said, all of them know in their hearts. So I asked myself, that's if they have a heart. You can't have a human heart when you are in the Nigerian political space. You have to have a superhuman heart when you are in the Nigerian space like that is filled with a lot of bigotry, a lot of hypocrisy, a lot of power play. So I think what DG said is my point, and I've been saying it in all the media houses where I've been speaking. I was on channels a few weeks ago and I said the same thing to them, that we need to take over the instrumentality of running the politics from the grassroots then into the political parties. If you are not a member of a political party where the appointment or the election of delegates is being determined, you cannot determine who will become Nigeria at the end of the president of Nigeria at the end of the day. You cannot determine who will become the governor of your state at the end of the day. And I say to people, the way you pay tithe and offering in churches, you need to join political parties and pay your tithe and offerings to political parties such that the money bags will not come to hijack the political party structure. What we did during NSAS, and we're able to raise money and mobilize and build structures, we should take that template, that strategy, and infuse it into our political party, the existing political party. Infuse that fundraising mechanism, that strategy, that mobilization and engagement strategy in the political parties, such that 5 years down the line, 4 years down the line, beyond this election cycle, we will see the results, like Deji said, we want to see in the future. But all of us want immediate gratification. We want immediate gratification by winning elections now. The politicians have been planning this thing 5 years ago, 10 years ago, when you were sleeping. A lot of you are not even card-carrying members of any political party. You don't even go for meetings. You don't even fund the political. You don't even contribute to the funding of the political party. Thereby, you cannot have a say in what is going on there. And that's why it's easy for them to be able to frustrate anybody. What I am suggesting is this, like DJ said, let's sit down and develop a strategy and map out a time of how we will invade this political party with our ideology for development of a Nigeria that is true and true. I know personally, I worked in the East for a very long time. I served with the Attorney General there in Imo State. I worked with one of the former governors, and that was about 15, 16 years ago. I know there are loads and loads of capable hands in the East that can rule this nation. But the handwriting is on the wall. They don't want the Easterners there. And I'm sad to say, it's unfortunate that our Easterners, our brothers, are not even united. They are not even together. They are so more power hungry that it's the crab mentality that is the problem for me. Then we are now beginning to play the victim card. We can't claim to be a victim where you have the power in your hands. Let's join the political party. Let's fund now, there's no need starting a new political party. Let's fund the existing political parties with our funds so that we have our mouth there and be able to complain. Let's be part of the process for selecting and determining who will be the delegate that will select the candidates of our choice. Rather than wait for them to select a candidate, they will now be complaining and ranting and making noise like this. I think that is the way forward. Thank you.
Thank you for your contribution, my brother.
Thank you.
Thank you for your contribution. Let James go ahead. You can go next.
Okay. My own comes like a question to Mr. Deji, because there was a time he posted something on Twitter and I replied. I said something and his comment was not forthcoming. He have a huge influence on social media, and some of us who have been in social media knows him very well as an activist. His voice is that which is being heard. Once man's opinion we know does not form general opinion. And as a student of law, I
Absolutely.
know that Jide is very conversant with politics, because you can't be a law student and you say you are not conversant with politics. And he knows that in politics, power is not given.
Yes,
That
indeed.
Peter Obi deserve to
Yes.
be the president of this country. You now ask, what role have the Southeast played, and how well have they played that role in politics? We know the role of people. And in the formation of APC, we know which people play the role in APC. Despite the fact that the formation of APC have people like Rochas Okorocha and Ogbonanya, how well their people play, that you can stand and boast your chest and say the Southeast deserve to be the president of Nigeria on that current platform of APC. We know what the Southeast used to be during the First Republic, before how they formed themselves alliance with the North that bring out the Tafawa Balewa and Nnamdi Azikiwe. What went wrong that the West have taken up that role which the West have been benefiting with the North till now? Now you ask question, if the Southeast actually wants to be or collect the mantle of leadership, what kind of politicking are they doing? You can't just give them power. The people have to go back. Like I said, Ogbonnaya and Okorocha, when they are in, them alone, you can't give them power because they were in and they were founding father of APC. They have to convince their people that, okay, we have been loyal to this PDP for a long time, and they have not given us something. We were one of the founding father of APC. So we urge you people to follow us. In that way, we can stand and argue. And some of us can even believe that, okay, these people have deserved to have that shot. But when that does not happen, you can't just give them power. How good are they playing that politics? And I want Deji to convince me, because power is not giving, power is tozu. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much, my brother, for those valid points. Yes, it is true that power is not served a la carte. I agree with you. However, we have seen all over the world that justice, equity, and fairness is usually the watchword. For instance, if you look at what happened when the military were leaving power, ordinarily, Southwest will not have gotten power. But because of the death of MK Abiola and the mood of the country as at then, the nation knew that we need unity so that we can heal. Look at all the agitations in the country, the Southeast. People say they want to leave. The marriage is not working. It's unfavorable. If you are married to a woman, the woman is telling you that the way you are treating me is not fair, and you continue to treat her like that, she's definitely, the marriage is going to crash and she's going to leave. So those are the issues. And this is why we need to be considerate. If you look at the way that the Southwest was compensated in 1999, the Southeast deserve, everybody in the country knows that the Southeast deserve to be compensated. The Southeast, they are not getting equity in this marriage. They are being maltreated in this marriage. Yes, we know that nobody will come and give power to anybody. However, the Southeast voted for Obasanjo in 1999. They voted for Obasanjo again in 2000 and they voted for Obasanjo again in 2003. The Southeast voted for Yaradua 100% in 2007. You know, the Southeast voted for Goodluck Jonathan in 2011. The Southeast voted for Buhari in 2015. Buhari got vote from the Southeast in 2015 and in 2019. And so I don't understand what we're asking the Southeast to do. Are we asking the Southeast has supported every other zone in this country? Are we asking the Southeast to sacrifice their blood for Nigeria before we can consider them patriotic enough? So I don't understand why there's this suspicion of the Southeast and why the Southeast is being maltreated in this union and in this marriage. So in my view, I believe that the Southeast deserve to be president, you know, because they are also Nigerians. If we don't want to trust them with power, then we should allow them to go. So this is my view.
Thank you very much for that. Okay, quickly, Mazi, I think that's Mazi Nziako. Please go ahead.
Okay, Deji, I am so happy that you're here today and that you're taking a stand, because these people that we're dealing with do not care about us as a Nigerian as a whole. If they can throw morality in the air and say, oh, as a Nigerian, the constitution permits me to vibe for any position, and nothing like zoning in the constitution and all that. We understand that. So you can also say, this is my stand. It doesn't have to do with anybody. It is your own personal decision, you know. And at the same time, when people start talking about Southeast not playing politics, I don't get it. Like they just said, I have been a PDP member since 1999. I have voted PDP all my life. So when you say we don't play politics, I don't understand what it means. Because I personally voted Obasanjo, and the entire Southeast did. I voted Yaradua. I voted Goodluck. So, but does it mean that nobody wants to vote for the Southeast? Are we only good in voting other regions, and nobody, when it comes to our turn, they say, oh, we can't vote you. You don't have competent people. So I don't get it. I don't know if Deji can explain more about this, because I don't really understand.
I'm also wondering with you, my brother. I'm wondering with you. I'm confused with you. I'm lost for words, actually.
Yes, it's really sad. Amma, okay, round up Mazi, then Amma would go next. Amma, you can go ahead. Amma, you can speak.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
I just have one or two opinions that I want to add to this. And the first one is, I want to talk about, I want us to ask ourselves this question. Having a Southerners or Southeastern president, does this solve our political problem in Nigeria? Is that the way forward? Is that the solution to our problems? I just want us to think outside of the box, because it seems like these political elites have, put all of us in a kind of, space in a way that we should be thinking. I'm not opposing anybody becoming this country's president, but does that solve our problem? To me, president can come from anywhere in the country, so far you are ready to deliver. Because this sentiment of we need to have a Southeastern president, or we need to have the Northern president, is one of the reasons why we are where we are. And I also want us to think about this. There is no way, even if
okay, go on. Okay, round up.
okay, if we give
Sorry,
people,
round up, Amma.
okay, if you give people an opportunity, no matter what the case may be, in the way things are situated, we will still have some people that will feel marginalized. And this brings me to what I think our solution is. I think we, the youth, need to organize ourselves. We need to find a way. With what happened with NSAS, we don't even know the gravity of power that we hold as youth of this country. I do not expect that by now we do not have a political party, just like what Digi said, that the other speaker that said that some of these politicians have been plotting for the past 5-10 years. If we start something by now, even though we are not formidable at this point in time, in the years to come, we will push these people aside. There is nothing stopping. I do not think that we can have any influence by joining these parties. For instance, we see what they did to Banky W. Somebody that everybody in the world saw that he won the primary. Do you think there's any chance for us? If we put ourselves together, we organize something, these people will be scared. It is until we can go back to the drawing board and realize that the youth of yesterday, they are now the leaders. This is the future leaders they are talking about. This is the leadership point that we are talking about. And we need to start. I do not think that joining those people, you will not get, they say you don't go to what do they put? You don't go to the war with a dog or something. You will be dragged in the mud. We need to organize ourselves. We need to have a youth politics. That revolution that happened with NSAS should have metamorphosed into something else by now. We are sleeping. We need to wake up. We need to do better. That is my submission. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I think Mazi wants to reply you, but Mazi, please just hold on. Let someone who has not spoken go ahead. Soliu has been tapping. Soliu, you can go ahead. That's Soliu
Uh,
Yemi Ishang.
Hello, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Thank you for bringing me on here. And one day, I want to say thank you for being part of this.
Thank you, sir.
Um, I have some few concerns, and but before that, I would like to reply for one speaker like that that spoke about Sowore and all that. I think the speaker said that Sowore is just or has been insulting everyone. I would like to correct that impression. If you look at it, Sowore has been on this for a very long time. But if you look at it specifically, when it comes to Peter Obi, I don't think Sowore has actually insulted Peter Obi like that. And why? And I think that's also the reason why many Nigerians kill or are killing behind Peter Obi. I will look at it, Peter Obi is not a saint. He's just the most decent one among the ones we have contesting now. And that is why you see Sowore has not really insulted him. So, but on the other candidate or on the other chiefs that we have in Nigeria, like Atiku, Tinubu and all that, I don't expect anybody to force Sowore or blame Sowore for insulting or for asking them as in for challenging them. I don't think Sowore has done anything bad in that aspect. But I would like to correct the speaker that Sowore has not really insulted Peter Obi. All of us know the way Sowore handle things, the way he talks and all that. Yeah. And we can't still fault him. No one is comfortable with the situation, with the way Nigeria is being run right now. So that one aside. I think now I would like to come back to the issue of Southeast and Southwest. I feel like when the whole thing started, so I feel like in PDP, Southwest and Southeast would be able to defeat Northerners. But my suggestion then was that the Southeast and Southwest, they would have to make sure that no, only one candidate is being put forward. The moment we start having two candidates from Southwest and Southeast, we can never debate North. Are we saying if we've had just one candidate from Southwest and Southeast, we will not be able to debate Atiku and the likes? We would. But where is the unity? We don't categorize ourselves as Southerners the way Northerners do. Look at what Tambuwa did yesterday. And it is not a betrayal. People are saying he betray friends. No, support. He knew what he did. And that's why I like those guys up there. They know when to queue behind their own people. It's not we here that will start. All we do here is just to insult ourselves, calling names and all that. I feel like
Yeah.
we
Thank
need
you.
to
So yeah, you can round up. You can round up.
I don't know, we need to come back home. We need to make ourselves one. We have a more state than the Northerners. The Kogi people, even Kwara here, we have Benue. Those are just not central. We have been asked to separate these people who have to join the Southerners. So we have what it takes to debate these people, but until we come back, bring ourselves together, and maybe until we are ready to really lead the country as we are supposed to be. We have the most educated people. We have all it takes to lead Nigeria, but I don't know. So we are just the problem of ourselves. So I think that's all I have to say. Thank you.
All
So
right. Thank you so much, Khalil.
yes,
What? Sorry, before the
because I have to
comrade.
go. Because I have to go.
Yes, the comrade has to go now.
I'm appearing on Arise TV shortly. You know, our problem, just like what the last speaker has said, is the lack of unity. Look at the person that went to go and submit Ahmed Lawan's form. Hope Uzodinma, Igbo man, is the one that went to go and submit Ahmed Lawan's form. And look at the level of disunity, even in the Southwest, where they are showing political greed, that they all want to be president when they should be supporting their fellow Igbo brothers who have never been president since this democracy came back in 1999. Almost 24 years now, we've had democracy. A Yoruba man was president of this country for 8 years. A Yoruba man is now a vice president for another 8 years. Another Yoruba man now says he wants to be president for another 8 years. Come on now. Come on, let's be fair to one another. Let's show one another love. Let's be reasonable with one another. Let's show that we are our brother's keepers. Let's show that this is beyond just personal things, that we can relate with each other's pain. Okay, I had one speaker saying it shouldn't matter where the person comes from. Okay, so how does another Northerner being president for another 8 years, how does that help Nigeria's unity? Knowing fully well how divided we are, how does that help? How does that help develop the country? Don't you know that? Don't you know that development is also, that unity is part of development? Unity is also part of development. You know, so if we are not united, how can we develop? How can we develop as a nation? You know, so these are the issues. It's not that God knows I don't have anything against Tinubu. I don't have anything against Oshibajo. I don't have anything against anybody. I am just trying to speak truth the way I understand it. And I'm doing my best to make other people see that we are going to all regret this one day. Thank God that the people in PDP that I was warning, since I've been warning them since last year, they were served breakfast yesterday by people who are smarter than them. You understand? I was warning them since last year. They were been insulting me. Thank God now, all them Tinubu and Oshibajo, they will also soon be served breakfast soon. This week that we are in now, they'll be served their own breakfast. This week we're entering. So if we don't stop, let us all pause, reduce our greed, our selfishness. Let us take a break. It must not always be. It must not always be about power for power's sake alone. You understand? This idea of do or die. It must be me. If it's not me, let the building crash. You know, so this is what I'm just going to close with, and appeal to each and every one of us that please let us consider other people in whatever we do. Thank you, and God bless you. If the space is still on, Once I'm done with my interview at Arise, I'll come back and join the space. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, comrade. Thank you so much for your time. And yes, we're still on. There are so many other people who have been raising hands. The floor will be open for you. But meanwhile, you can you can use the hashtag to drop your questions. Just tweet your question and put the hashtag why Niger spaces. I'm going to be reading the questions as we go on. And as I can see here, a lot of politically aware and awake people are here. So I think we're still in safe hands until the comrade returns. So who goes on next? Peter, I think Peter just spoke, right? Dr. Toye is back. So, Dr. Toye, let's hear you real quick then. Peter and Mazi can go next.
Thank you very much. Did you actually captured a bit of what I wanted to say in addition? For us, as we contribute here, we are not denying the fact that the Nigerian situation is not chaotic. We are not denying the fact that the situation is so bad that we are not focusing on a visionary leader who is competent and credible to solve our problems. We do need a competent, credible, and visionary leadership to solve our problems. However, part of our problem is that our political terrain is flawed by our ethnic and religious propensity. When you look at it, a Muslim has been ruling Nigeria for about 8 years. You mean another Muslim from PDP and APC will come and rule again? A northerner has been ruling for 8 years. You mean another northerner will now come and rule again?
A very valid question. That's a very valid question.
So you cannot put this out there and expect that the nation will be united. To make progress in solving our problems, we can only be united when we play to our conscience and speak to our hearts. Is this fair? Is this equity? Is this justiciable? This is not justice. Why should Nigeria's own development, Nigeria's own unity be subject to a man's ambition because it is your lifetime ambition? You've been contesting for presidency since 1992 and you believe you have the first right of refusal because you gathered 11 million votes 4 years ago, and your ambition is so much important that you are not putting into consideration the unity of Nigerians or Nigeria, which is already fragile. Our unity is fragile right now. People feel bad that they are being treated with scorn. They are not being attended to. They are being marginalized. Let's to foster that unity, especially when we have a fragile history, a history of civil war where people are still in pain, where the memories still linger in people's heart, that they lost families, they lost property, they lost sense of identity, they lost everything to that war, even though it was several years ago. You can still not deny these people of their pain. You cannot deny them of their agony. Now, you are not telling me that they don't have anybody that is competent in the entire Southeast. I know so many men in the Southeast who are detribalized, highly detribalized. Do you mean we can't find any that can serve as Nigeria's president for the next 4 years, that is competent enough to solve our economic problems, and that is courageous enough to solve our political problems? There are myriads of them. So we are not saying that the Southeast, we are discussing Nigeria's progress at the expense of competency. That's not what we are saying. We're not saying we don't need a competent. We need a competent leader. Of course, we desire a visionary leader, but for the purposes of justice and equity, especially where our unity is fragile, where our history of being a nation is becoming questionable, the best way to appease all parties is to consider a candidate from the Southeast to lead this nation. There are so many competent men there who can do it. It's just a matter of our conscience. And I think we should rally around that idea and produce a better Nigerian leadership. And to start that, my brothers and my sisters who are present here, let us join the political parties and influence who becomes the delegate. Let's influence who become the leaders. Let's not just rant on social media alone. Let's just not complain and play victim card all the time. Let's join the political parties now.
Yes, we may not determine who will be the president in 2023, but trust me, the game will be different in 2027. The game will be different in 2032 or 2033. Let's join. There's so many things. Let's leverage technology to be involved. There's a group that come up with the word chat. Let's register. Let's be part of the polling unit, the local government elections. Let's be part of what is happening in the political parties so that we determine who and who is the delegate, so that we'll match them money for money. The money back will not come and hijack the political parties away from them. Let's be politically conscious and politically aware. Let's stop being reactionary, that it is when elections are coming that we'll not be playing the victim card and be complaining. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tsoye. Thank you so much for that. Peter, you can go ahead.
Okay, good evening.
Good evening. Good evening. You have a question or you want to?
I want to contribute.
Okay, sure.
Actually, I'm not from Southeast. I'm a Crossoverian. I think this whole mess we are into, I think we can put a stop to it. When we continue complaining, can't we put an end to this thing? Come.
How do you suggest to put an end?
We can put an end. All these people that are causing this problem, this marginalization, bringing all these things that are power tussles and all of that, we can decide and form a coalition and collect them this power. Seriously, we can do it. It's not something that is something that we cannot do. We can do it. It's just a matter of having one mind, coming together, agreeing what do we do. And before they understand what we, in fact, our plans, we have to hide it and take it away. Because if we continue, in as far as some other one part of this country continue to be marginalized, there cannot be peace in this country. There will continue to be problems in this country, problems, until their cries and their yearning and everything we hit to it, there will continue to be problem in this country. So I don't believe in all these ones they say this side, they are the ones they are holding power this and they don't want to leave it. No, we can form a good coalition and decide to take this power from them. It's not even about Hausa. My problem is Fulani agenda. This Fulani agenda is killing us. If Fulani comes out, another Fulani wants to go. Another Fulani, not even Hausa. They brought about Hausa Fulani just to threaten us, just to make us know that they are united. It's bad. So I feel the Southeast, I know that my vote is going to Southeast. That's one is sure. And you know that if what you are doing is right, you want to do the right thing, your vote should also go to the Southeast. We should shun all this marginalization so that I don't know whether this zoning cannot be enshrined into our constitution. If it can, please let them do it. I yield the mic. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for that, Peter. Mazi, you can go ahead.
Okay. My point.
One second. There are two Mazis here. I'm talking of Mazi.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
So can I go ahead?
Why is
you also speak?
Hello? Can I go on?
Yes, sure.
Okay. Now, one of the things I wanted to speak about is when someone said before that the sound must get together. I find it always so disingenuous that people will come up and make such comments. If we have to go down the memory lane, people, let's remember that a faction of APGA was part of the APC. And before then, the ANPP, led by Ogbonneonu, was with General Muhammadu Buhari. So we all knew how that politicking at that time happened. It come down to PDP. The Southeast since 1999, from 98-99 up to date, have voted for a PDP. Now, it beats me sometimes also when people
make this as if you can't trust the Southeast, you can't let them go, but you question them as to their choices. Now, please, can we go back to these choices? 1999, they supported the Yoruba man, even when one of their son and one of their brightest then was on the verge of, getting to the top job before, politics happened. No offense taken. Was voted in for the second time. 2007, Yaradua, who, who may his soul rest in peace, from Castina State, was voted in massively. Sadly, his own brother, in the person of, Buhari, wasn't. And what happened? So if we now go down memory lane and chronicle all these things, and you now hear someone's telling you get your act together, and I ask, you have in the APC a man of immense competence, a man who I call a miracle worker when it comes to infrastructural development in the person of Engineer Dave Umahi. You have a very, intellectual, mobile individual in the person of Dr. Boniono, both of them from Ebony State. And someone will say, where are the competent people? Now tell me, without sounding immodest, apart from the way we do politics in Nigeria, are these men, for instance, Dave Umahi, with the little resources that the state receives, he's been able to know, and I repeat this because I am on ground and I go to these sites. No governor in the Southeast in the last 7 years comes close to this man in what he does. Yet someone says we do not have people who are competent. And I, listen to these things and I'm like, here again, sorry, my good people and my friends from the Southwest, slightly personally disappointed. You know why? Because I thought when the governors forum were saying we will demand that presidency is zoned to the south, that they were meaning for equity and whatever we call the next. But sadly, it's not the case. Suddenly, everyone comes out. 100 million becomes like 100 naira that you use in buying akara. Every Dick and Harry comes out and splashes 100 million and buys these forms. Okay? And when this then happens, you ask yourself, if we would not be in this mess. And, when someone told me about this a couple of months back, I laughed off it. You know why? That it is unthinkable that a Fulani man will finish and another Fulani man will take over. It is unthinkable. People, pause for a moment and think about it. In Nigeria, an Igbo president after 8 years, and an Igbo person will be saying, okay, maybe this Igbo man is from Delta State. He's now going to take over and continue. Come on. Will Nigerians ever think about it? Not to, not to, not to come to a point that it may become a reality. What did the PDP not do just to have a consensus candidate? Even what something that is written in their own constitution, all they needed to do was to say, brothers, we insist that here we must follow our own constitution where it is written that south. Suddenly, when it came to the time of micro, or rather zoning it to the south, because obviously when it comes to the south, where it will go to naturally. Suddenly, everyone got Alzheimer. Nobody remembers. Nobody knows anything again, and that is where we are. To the people had to leave that part. Then you ask yourself, what manner of a people are we? Tomorrow, what is it that you're going to go and tell those, the younger generations born in the last 30 years, telling you they want to break away from Nigeria, that what is happening is not right? What are you going to tell them? You tell them to stay in a marriage that they consider they are not being cared for. You tell them to stay in a marriage that they think their parents, even when they kept quiet, they are not going to keep this quiet. How is that? Let's even think about it. It makes me, to be honest, it makes me sometimes so sick It's just like thank you very much, Deji, because it's just like Deji said before he left. Equity. Imagine Buhari is an Igbo man. God forbid, and may I be dead that after his time, and I will be imagining that another Igbo person would govern Nigeria. Why? Until we get to a point where, like Ekweme made in the Abacha Constitution Conference of 1995, assuming we took that where we had a single tenor with the 6 geographical zone, let it go round 60 years later. We are only 3 years of that, 30 years later. We're only 3 years of that 30 years. If we had, just sometimes Nigeria has a way of happening to all of us. Because if we had in 1995 actually taken that stand, by now, the last region will be the one completing. Then we can now say if we want to throw it open. But it's not only when it comes to the Southeast that everyone talks about competence, as if we have a garage of incompetent people. We have cucumbers and carrots running the streets. No, we do have competent people. People, if we look at all these things, one thing I'm gonna be stopping here, but one thing I say to us is politicians can destroy Nigeria, but you and I must not aid them too, because at the end of the day, whatever happens, you are the one to go vote. If you and I feel that there is an injustice or there is something not happening right, even when the politicians think it's right, I believe if we are a people of conscience, you and I can make that right by 2023.
Thank you so much, Mazi. Thank you so much, Mazi. So Mazi is Zako. You can go ahead. After him, Kaiga.
Okay. Thank you once again for giving me the opportunity to speak. Let's even put aside this zoning thing.
Mazi, 1 second. Please, can we all stick to 3 minutes each? Like, be it question, contributions. Let's just go, 3 minutes you talk, the next person talks, and if it's something that you have to speak again, you definitely go again. So let's just give ourselves 3 minutes.
Okay, I'm making just a little contribution.
Okay, sure. So that's also fine.
Okay. So let's even put aside this thing about zoning, about equity, justice, and fairness. Let's even look at the candidates and what they have achieved and what they have been able to do in their past life and what, they are talking about doing for the country. If you look at all the candidates, how many of them can stand and say, oh, this is what we have been able to do? And you don't have a candidate from the Southeast that will counter that. None of them. Umahi is a very good candidate from the Southeast. Peter Obi is a very good candidate from the Southeast. And none of these people can match these two. I'm not saying they are not competent. But I'm saying when you talk about things they have achieved personally, in the places they have held as head of administrations or in all the works of their lives, they have achieved something personally. So when people talk about competency, we shouldn't be talking about Nigeria zoning. We should be talking about somebody who's gonna, who is competent enough to rule the country and all that. We have it in the Southeast. We have them abundantly. So it's just a game that they keep playing. Oh, if a Southeast man goes in there, he's gonna divide the country. They put that in the minds of so many people, but that's not true. I'm a Nigerian, and nobody can take it away from me. Nobody is more Nigerian than me. I lived in the North, I schooled in the North. Even here in the US, I'm living with a Northerner in my house. And nobody is talking about, look at what happened during the NSAS. Was anybody talking about tribe? Was anybody talking about religion? Nobody was doing that. People were offering food, even bringing mats for Muslims to play in the middle of the protest. So it's just a divide and rule strategy that they use. So I just want to end there. I just pray we don't allow them to continue to divide us.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Kaiga, you can go ahead.
Thank you, Why Niger, for creating this space for us to have this conversation. And everyone that is joining, my name is Eric Kagama, and I'm a Goba candidate under the PRP party. And unlike a lot of Nigerians, I'm not looking for any party. There are over 50 parties in Nigeria. So anybody that's always, it's very funny to me. It's hilarious to hear when people are saying form party. There's more than, there are a lot of unblemished, parties, in abundance in Nigeria that you can. I've made my choice. I've made my choice. It's going to be PRP based on its unblemished, records, and also the people that are aligned, with that are on that platform. And a good example is, we have someone from the Southwest, not the Southwest, but I think it was the Southeast, as a flag bearer, one of the only few female candidates, in the country. We, unlike others, we believe in equity, and I think by the grace of, I don't know, for some of you, if you don't believe in God, it's okay, but I believe she will come out victorious, right? So we believe in equity, but at the same time, you have to look at the science of, politics itself. I'm based in the U.S., but I decide, to jump and run under, PRP, and make sure in Taraba State things are changed, because I'm not happy with the situation. I have gone from just talking about it and pointing fingers to actually pitching my tent with one and saying, let's build this thing together. I think that is what most of us should be doing here. They have more than 50 parties. Go and find one and stop, talking about, let's form party. You don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. That's what for people that are coming with different types of flimsy excuses, that should be thrown in the bin. How can we trigger change in a country like Nigeria? I've been in the north, I've been in a class, I've attended school, I've been, my classmates have been Igbos and Yorubas and pretty much everybody on the face of. I speak, decent, Platinchi, Hausa fluently, and Igbo. I can, in the US, when I meet my people, and if you identify as a Yoruba man, I can greet you. Igbo man, I can greet you in Igbo and all that. So just like my other brother there, I consider myself a true Nigerian, by the fact I don't identify, as most natives. I identify as with that entity, and that anybody that is part of that identifies as part of that entity, I feel like he's my brother. But let's go back to the science of, politics itself. And I'm not pointing out, I love, I don't want to mention Igbo, Yoruba, and all those things, but just for the sake of this conversation. And I just want us to understand something. Let's go back to the science of politics itself. The Igbo has, look at Abga, for instance. You have not, demonstrated you could create a party that could accommodate every Nigerian. Why don't we do that first? Why don't you take matters into your hand, create a party that accommodates others? But you create Abga, and then it's all about Igbos on the side, and then that creates a problem. It creates a bad impression. And nobody, I'm telling you, no matter how great you are, even if it's Jesus or any other type of prophet, you're not going to get. Nobody's going to hand any political position to you, especially the presidency. You have to work for it. The first, you have to look at you have to look at. Let's go back to the politics. Let's go back to the sciences of it. You look at how you're going to woo the people from the middle belt. Who are you going to work with? To make sure you align with those people. Create a platform that accommodates. But if you're going to be, if it's going to be one party, create a party, it's all about natives, and then you think, good luck with that. But I have love for everyone, and I believe, in equity, justice, and everything. But it's going to take, a bit of strategy, and also common sense. You're not going to beg your way into the presidency. You're not going to, you're not going to bamboozle your way into the politics. You have to play politics the way politics is played. It's about the majority. If you're in the US or any part of the world you are, politics is straightforward. When Obama won, he wasn't the brightest politician on earth. He wasn't the most brightest. There are a bunch of kids in IMT that are brilliant and have built things that are changing the world than Obama. But you have to play the politics. You have to, your delivery, your eloquency, everything that you have to do, it's a combination of everything. So I'm telling us, let's play, my brothers, like of Igbo extraction or Southeast, or please, let's go back to the basics. Create a platform that accommodates other Nigeria, so that it is that impression that the Igbos only create things for themselves. They won't allow others to be part of it and do and this and that. It's no longer an issue, and it creates a right.
Thank you.
It creates so that is my advice, and hopefully you can check our party, what is going on in PRP, and our gubernatorial aspirant, the woman that is going to change, politics as it is, in Nigeria, please. And thank you for the opportunity. Why Nigeria Spaces? Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Doctor, okay, I don't think she's able to speak yet. Yeah, so I was going through some of the tweets, and I can see some of you interacting already. Dr. Toye tweeted, Nigerian politics is determined by ethnic religious identities. And Osita replied saying, please, you just mentioned that there is a group called World Chat. The young people can join and monitor the election. How can you join it? Okay, so please send him a DM explaining that. I also saw someone complaining that there's a bit of, I think that's Abdul Fattah. He's kind of bothered that a lot of Igbos are on the space. No, that's actually not the case. It's an open floor; anyone can speak. Like there was someone who spoke, and he wasn't really into the idea of an Igbo president, and we're all fine with that. I can see more hands being raised. Okay, Gimba, go ahead. I don't think Gimba can speak right now. Mazi Nze, go ahead.
Okay.
Am I allowed to speak?
Okay, please, Mazi Ezioku, just hold on. Let Mazi Nze round up. Then we'll go back to the tweets and you would attend to that.
My hand has been up.
Mazi Nzeako.
Okay. I'm not trying to counter the last speaker, but I'm trying to say Apaga is created for every region. It's not only created for Igbos. And he will be misleading the public saying, oh, they only create things for themselves. That's not true. In every part of Nigeria, you see an Igbo man. In every part of Nigeria, in fact, Igbos are the most liberal people you will meet on earth. In every part of Nigeria, you see us doing our businesses. Even though, people may look at us funny and somehow, but you can't compare us with any other region when it comes to movement. So when you come here and start telling us, oh, we create things for ourselves, that's not true. You see some Igbos in the NNPP. They recently created NNPP. Some Igbos are already there. In the Labour Party, the Igbos are there. Even in the Kwankwaso, his party, a lot of Igbos are there. Why would somebody come online and mislead us, telling us Igbos create things for themselves? We should go back to the
No, I didn't say they create. I said the impression it gives. I'm a great supporter, and I also
you are the one giving the impression.
No, the impression is, how come we don't have Abda, like having a formidable candidate?
Because they don't want to.
Because they're not playing it the way it's supposed to be played.
Did you see the NNPP in the Southeast?
You don't have to go to PDP. You don't have to go to APC. I myself, I didn't go to APC or PDP. I went to
creating
PRP.
The wrong impression. The impression you're giving people is that Igbos are not good.
Let's see the candidate Abga
for themselves.
Let's see the candidate Abga present. Let's forget about APC and PDP.
But
they're not the only party in Nigeria.
But what you're saying
it matters. It matters if you have, let everybody.
If somebody wants to be in any party, they can go ahead and be in any party.
It's just like people are just.
They can go ahead and be in any party. You don't have to mention an Igbo man to make it.
If it doesn't, we in the PRP will work with Abga if it's possible. Stop coming here because you want power.
Working with every region in Nigeria. We have been working with every region. We have been playing this politics.
That is politics. That
We
kind
have
of politics is lazy
we
politics.
voted Obasanjo.
Abga, let's
We
have
voted
candidate.
Yaradua. We voted Atiku in 2015.
Let's
We
have the
voted
candidate
Atiku massively.
under Abga.
And don't
How come
stop
Abga is
saying
not?
that, oh, we don't
Abga should be the one of
associate
the most
ourselves with.
formidable
No,
parties.
that's not right. That is not right.
No, Abga
That's a
should be
very
one of
false
the most
narrative.
formidable parties in Nigeria because APC and PDP have all both failed. How come we don't have candidates, strong candidates, from all those people that are going and paying 100 million,
So it is the
to
Igbo
APC
that
and
made
PDP?
us. So are you saying the Igbos caused other people not to have candidates?
No, we're telling
Is that
let's
what
have
you're
a strong
saying?
candidate at Abga so that we can vote for it. Let's have that
No,
option.
you are
Give
not.
us that
You are not
option.
saying anything.
Please.
You are actually
You know?
not saying anything. You are not
What
saying
am I
anything.
not saying?
When
Give
you
us
start
a
talking
formidable
about only the
candidate.
Igbos and Africa
Give
not being
us a
in other
formidable
regions,
candidate.
you
If you're
know what I'm
complaining
saying?
about APC, and give us the candidate Abga so that we can have an option. Us and PLP, we're ready to work with Abga.
There are more than 50 parties in Nigeria. People are talking based on where their mindset is. You have the right to talk where your mindset is, and not come online and say,
let's be realistic.
They are
Let's
not
have the candidate.
accommodative.
How come we're not talking about Abga?
What
How
basis
come
is
this
that?
conversation? How come in this conversation we're not talking about a party that is predominantly of extraction?
I guess we're both coming from two different angles. I totally get that. Yes, and everyone has their own grievance and their own opinions. So let's someone else just take the floor for now to tone things down. President, go ahead.
All right, thank you very much. This is my
Do you
first
have a
time.
question or do you have?
No,
You're
no. I
welcome.
just have a contribution. I have a contribution.
Oh, okay. I'll try to the question. Just please hold on. Abdul Fattah was already slated to speak next. So Abdul Fattah, you can go on. He's still online. Abdul Fattah. Okay, President. While he sorts his network, you can go ahead.
All right, thank you very much for this opportunity. I've heard everybody here, but I would say I'm so much moved by the statement of two people. Number one, Hama. Number two, Kaigama. Yes, he talked about everybody being involved. I listed out some things here. See, the foundation of Nigeria is wrong. And even the Bible says, the foundation is for it, what can the righteous do? I won't lie to you. The foundation is wrong because even from the way the political system, the party system, they are very wrong. There's only one force that the youth have, and that force was what we pulled during NSAS. During NSAS, I told people, you were not supposed to go out and fight the government. You don't fight the government. Assuming the NSAS was the focus of NSAS was everybody go and get your PVC. As at then till now, we will have done something, will have caused a great change in politics. Now, see, even many of these political parties we have now, they are just a fraction of the major political parties. I won't lie to you, you can go and check my name on Facebook. I made the declaration to run for politics, presidency of the nation, because I was frustrated. Okay, I started growing some WhatsApp group, community of people interested in politics, just like what Kaigama said. He said he's also in a political party and trying to represent. See, I attended a space yesterday. What I found out from that space was that almost everybody there were political driven, like they want to rule. That is very good. And I also find out that many of them were working indirectly for the major political party. See, I won't lie to you. If Showore becomes the president of this nation, or even Peter Obi, if he is only the one as the head and he doesn't have other people in his party or other people that can work together with him in the House of Assembly and the rest, he will fail. It will fail. The foundation of Nigeria is wrong. It's only the youth that can take over. And what I'm expecting the youth to do is to come together and have a voice. See, even before APC could win the presidential election, they have to march together. It was emerging from the CPC and ACN. What is wrong if every other youth, apart from APC and PDP, come together and let us cause a great change? See, there's no how, if you play along with these old people, you cannot cause any change. You cannot bring any change to Nigeria. Please, let's listen to what Ama said and Kaigama. Let us work together. If you want a great change in Nigeria, let us come together. One of the key factors of democracy is referendum. They have a well-built structure already. You can't just come from anywhere and tell me you want to come and take over from them. We have to come together. Just look at the way the NSAS went. If we can just come together with that voice, but it's very disheartening that a lot of people, even these people cannot do anything without the help of the youth. It's so painful. It's so painful that I had to come out. Even I know it was as if like a joke, or people will be laughing at me. I had to come out and make a declaration that okay, I started going some people, community of people on WhatsApp, and if you see the way people were joining and they were telling me okay that they were tired of this nation, and I know there are a lot of people that have this force among us here. Why can't we just come
Thank
together
you.
and work together for the good of the nation?
Yes, we love that. Tweet your WhatsApp link for anyone who is interested in supporting you. Tweet it and add the hashtag to the spaces. Then Mazi is okay. Kagama still wants to speak. Okay.
Mazi
Okay.
and Ezioke and Kagama, they are always speaking. Mazi, Ezioke, and Kagama.
No,
Like
sorry.
the
True. Okay,
Sorry.
Enna, go ahead. Enna
Sorry.
Orubo.
Sorry, I just
I am
wanted
highly
to make a 1 minute
disappointed.
response, please.
I am highly
wow.
disappointed. Can I speak?
Yes, sure, go ahead.
I am highly disappointed that in 2022, when Elon Musk is developing satellites that can cater to the world and Ukraine during the war, I'm talking of a president of Southeast extraction and a president of Northern extraction. Mr. President, you just spoke, the guy on president here. You will insulting the elders will not give you the presidency of Nigeria. George Weah contested for presidency continuously, as popular as he was, and he lost until he took Charles Taylor's wife to become his vice president. Buhari contested and continued contested and continued contesting, and he will have continued contesting until he went to the camp of the Lions to go into a consultation with them and pay the consultants. They paid AKPD Message and Media, an American consulting company who handled the campaign of Obama, to come and replicate the change campaign slogan in Nigeria, and they won. Kagama, God bless you. Politics is a science. Politics is numbers. Rigging is evident everywhere in the world. The election you're talking of for 2023 has already been rigged. Forget about the foundation. How do we make the best of where we are? The challenge that Nigeria faces today, we should not be looking to the left, to the right, to the forward, to the back. Who's going to pay the debt? Who's going to boot the balance of trade between the US, Nigeria and India, and Nigeria and China? Who's going to make the refineries work at 80% and 90% capacity? And Mr. President said something very important, which I like. Please take note of it. He said, even if you make Peter Obi president, which would never happen, and the whole team, the House of Assembly, the National Assembly, which is skewed to the north, is anti-Peter Obi, he would not achieve anything. Politics is about consultation. In the US, you lobby big corporations, the Republican Party, the Democrat, they pay consultants to go lobby people. The Southeast presidency is dead on arrival. Buhari will never hand over power to a man of Southeast extraction. I do not care who the president of Nigeria is. A liter of jet A14 is going to 600 and something. You're telling me about Southwest? Please, Kagama has spoken. He's the member of a party. He's running for election. How can we, as we're speaking, support Kagame to succeed? And I will tell you the truth. The youths are not the solution to Nigeria. Don't be deceived. Because if you discountenance the elders, you will lose data. Amazon is what it is today because they leverage upon data, AI, and other technologies to make informed and actionable intelligence to make improvements. The Dubai ruling family is ruling Dubai. They've ruled Dubai. Lee Kuan Yew ruled Singapore for 40 years. One single man. And Singapore, their GDP per capita is over $40,000. While you're talking of south, east, southwest, south, north, south, north. Really, it's a shame. Let's wake up. I'm waiting for Deji to come back. I will soon give up. Then when they come back, we'll put this in proper perspective. Politics is science. Kagame, please. Thank you.
Sir, can I have my 1 minute response now, please? If I have your audience. Now, I want to respond
I think the host is having some connection issue, but I hope you can hear me. All hear me. I want to quickly respond to the gentleman from the United States that talked about ACA and the appearance that they do not allow others to come in. My dear good brother, I think that perception and notion is wrong. You know what? I say in 2019 election in the Gwagwarada Area Council of Abuja, a man named Danza Mustafa Adam won that election under APGA. Now, if you may permit me, you know the former Minister of Information in Nigeria from Nasarawa State by name Labaran Maku. Maku contested under APGA in Nasarawa State, and Nasarawa is not in Ebonyi, neither is it in Anambra. But he came third. He came third, and he scored 132,784 votes in 2019 election. And that man is not Igbo. Now, what we then, when we make such allusions and such, I wouldn't say misinformed, but it's a very deliberate attempt to kind of lure the audience away from the real deal here. Is if we go back when PDP was formed, you talk about Alex Ekwem, you talk about the a man I call a legend, that is Abubakar Remi. These were men that came together.
The space has ended. Now Maz Ezoke is now alone here talking. I believe those watching on the various media, social media handles, in Facebook, in YouTube, and on Twitch and on Instagram, I believe you can hear me and you can hear me clear. So what I was saying is, before the space got cut off because the host of that space got a issue with internet. Now, I must conclude because I know that while we are broadcasting this, I'm also addressing a global audience. It is very, very wrong, and I must say this, that people will begin to come and tell us that Igbos don't share when they form parties. It is very, very disingenuous. If you recall, when AC, even when AD was formed, it was a national party, but it was perceived to be a regional party for some sort. It had a certain region, but even at that, many people, including the Southeasterners, embraced this party, eventually went into ACN, from AC and eventually to ACN, right? Now, if we look, Dan Wanyangu was the chairman of Labour Party that eventually, when they got into crisis, he now formed again Zenith Labour Party. The Iroko of the Yoruba land, that is Mimiko, the man that the first time in Nigeria done a political revolution called the Orange Revolution. He used Labour Party and he campaigned and he won his election in Ondo under Labour Party, under Dan Wanyangu, who is from Imo State. Then it is absurd and is also insulting to note that some of us will begin to come online and make unsubstantiated arguments that Igbos don't share. While I do agree that, just in the case of Apga has become the wife that is bewitched. In the sense that, imagine when Peter Obi was the Apga governor, Okorocha became the second Apga governor. Enugu State became the third, but Enugu State was rigged out. That was during the time of Sullivan. Now, if we come back to Imo State, the only second state that we had, we shot ourselves in the foot via Okorocha, who his whole thinking was to go mainstream with the center, and he moved into the APC. Today, the rest is history. And part of them are those that form this APC. So when people now sit back and say that you appear that you don't share, I found it a little bit insulting, and I found it not to be correct, because that is also not correct. And this, I yield and I say thank you all for being part of this broadcast this evening. If we would get back to, see if the stream comes back live, then we will rejoin. But if not, let me see if, okay. We are back now. Hold on. We are back. People, just hold on. We are back. We are going to restart the stream now. Where is it again? Okay. We are back. Sorry.
Is filled with youth. We cannot subjectively move Nigeria forward. We must first, as a country, come and set up a vision which we'll move with. Lincoln, you had a vision to transmutate Singapore from a third world economy to a first world
We are
economy.
trying to
And it fulfilled just that. When Donald Trump was to meet with
reconnect.
a North Korean president, he chose Singapore. Singapore is a country about the size of Lagos, but their GDP
Okay.
and GDP per capita is $43,000. Nigerian GDP per capita is $2,000 plus. How would we put food in the mouths of the people of Nigeria? We can do this through technology. Elon Musk
Per capita is $2,000 plus. How would we put food in the mouth of the people of Nigeria? We can do this through technology. Elon Musk is worth 230 billion. How can we share ideas to generate money to help our people? Let's focus. You cannot do politics without money. Don't be deceived. Oh, the money bags. You need the money bags. Oh, the old men. You need their old sense. It's called native intelligence. That's what Lee Kuan Yew used for 40 years ruling Nigeria. One person can rule Nigeria for 30 years, as long as it would evolve Nigeria economically, as long as it will unify Nigeria. But dancing APC, PDP, no. Some countries are one state. Rwanda is moving forward. Is it not a one-party system? Are we going to sit here and saying this? No, leave all of that drama. We're all professionals. I have a doctorate in engineering. I live in the US. The US is not perfect. Nigeria is not perfect. Let's start from somewhere as a people, whether you are old, whether you're young, whether you're Muslim, whether you're Christian, whether you're a woman, whether you're a man, whether you're a foreigner, whether you're Nigerian. Let's define a vision for Nigeria and let's put all our resources towards that direction. If within our midst we feel people like Kagame can go and make a difference, how can we raise money for them? How can we give them a developmental template? How can we offer free political advocacy? It is data analytics. Politics is data. The 2023 presidential election has already been guaranteed by the numbers. Don't deceive yourself. Northwest, there's number. Northeast, you will see magical numbers that day. Kanu developed magical numbers last year. I'm telling you, don't be deceived. Elections have been determined. All of this is just dancing to the solution. Abiola won election. He was never allowed to rule. It's Nigeria. Things happen in Nigeria that cannot happen anywhere in the world. Let's not fight ourselves. Let's focus on the big picture. Let our country evolve. Let's put resources together to make improvement. We need just 1, 2, 3 technological breakthroughs to make Nigeria rich. How much is the annual revenue of Amazon? Almost 280 billion. Imagine Amazon was a Nigerian company. Who will be fighting to become president? The whole national GDP of Nigeria is only 500 billion. The revenues of Walmart over 500 billion. Apple is valued at more than 1 trillion. We're here talking about this thing. It's commerce. Let's make an impact. And SARS was a failure. Revolutions have never worked anywhere in the world. Libya, they removed Gaddafi. They are paying the price today. Egypt, they removed Mubarak. They are paying the price today. It's not about revolution. Let's make the best of what we have. The people who you see today ruling Nigeria, they were once followers. They were once citizens like us. What happened? That we did not prepare them for a future, and they go there and mess up, and we're blaming them. Jonathan was a victim of circumstance. Fate pulled him forward to become president. He never prepared to become president. Was he a bad man? No. Buhari ran for president, ran. He has gotten the presidency. What has he done? Nothing. So this is not about being Superman. Mr. President on this chat, what does he say? He said, even if you put Peter Obi and you have the rest as criminals, nothing would happen. And we should not be calling names. No need to call this one bad. They're all our brothers. If we defame them, the world will defame them. CNN will defame them. No country is perfect. In the UK, there are issues. In America, there are issues. Trump was not the most perfect American. He became president. Please, let's gather our resources together. Let's help
Thank you so
ourselves.
much.
Please, please,
Thank you so
please.
much. Please, I am Dominic 5. Dominic, can you please go ahead?
Okay, good evening, everybody. Wherever you're in the world, good evening, good afternoon, good morning. Good contributions. Everybody is trying to, is the way forward, right? We're talking about the way forward. So rather than pointing fingers, let's look for solution. Let's look for solution. Okay, now, if we talk about moving forward, now you can't move forward if you don't know where you're going to. You can't move forward when you never saw where you are as a problem. Let's remember that. It's very vital. Very, very vital. Now, a lot of Nigerians don't.
I think Dominic is
In
having
short,
issues.
benefiting more than
Okay,
anything
fast.
from this fact.
President, your neck.
Right? Yeah, so we
Yes.
have to start looking at it from that point of view. Everywhere there's inequality, in short, the inequality balance in Nigeria is demonic. It's very demonic. Our inequality, I don't even know how to say it because it can't be balanced. For now, 100 years from now, it can be balanced. But now there's something the last speaker said. He said Amazon, Facebook, their profit, what they're generating is 1 trillion times better than what we are doing. And why? The managers of Nigeria today, the managers of Nigeria for the past 50 years can't move us forward. What the last speaker said is vital. Since we know that the leaders of our past 50 years can't move us forward, all they did was they never planned for the future. We have to start thinking, the resources we have now, what can it do for us so that we can innovate and start having companies such as Amazon. Basically now what we are doing, we are consuming. We're just consuming. What can we do to move forward? How do we do it? We have to prioritize education. Prioritize education, especially for the North. I'm working in an NGO, I'm in the North. I will not say the location, but I'm telling you, if we don't prioritize education, in the next 10 to 15 years, terrorism will be worst. Inequality will be doubled. Insecurity will be worst. Then
Thank you so much.
agitation will be doubled. So, but what are the solutions? Prioritize education, provide incentive for people to go to become entrepreneurs, provide jobs, make political position less incentive. You cannot, the monstrous money we spend on recurrent, there are a lot of problems. But, if we can get it right to make innovation, get electricity working, one of the very important things, let's improve on our electricity. But I am still telling you, the managers of Nigerians today cannot change it. They can't change it. If you keep pointing hands, you're wasting time. For instance, someone was pointing out that ABGA is the Eastern Party. No, it's wrong. It's wrong. I'm in Plateau State, from Plateau, but where I stay, I born and brought up in Kano, stayed in Jos, grew up in Jos, currently working for an NGO. But I can tell you, ABGA has given one professor, Tanko Baba Usman of Dafodio, this in 22,000 votes to defeat someone from another party. Currently, you can check it. You can check it.
Okay, thank you
They
so much.
they declare Shehu Saleh Grand Alliance. That's the winner of Megama Federal Constituency in Niger State in by-election. He is not an Igbo man. So what I am invariably saying is, when you want to say the Igbos are this, they are that, also look at the statistics. Those people have been suppressed for a long time. It's only natural that they want to show you that they are, and who is more Nigerian than the Igbo? This village where I am staying, this hotel, where NGO is book the whole hotel is owned by an Igbo man. So let's be fair. Let's be fair. That's all I'm asking. Then the president can
All right.
focus
Okay.
on electricity.
All right.
Thank
I'll
you.
let, if I can, because
Thank you.
if I can jump in, please, because there's been two responses, from people. I think you misconstrued what I said about ABGA. I said it gives the impression. I'm not saying I am part of a party. I'm running for the governor. I'm a gubernatorial, candidate in Tribal State, and the person that I support is from the southeast, and she's also, she's from a minority as well. She's also a woman. So I'm not even talking about ABGA. I'm talking about. I'm pointing to the fact that they have mismanaged. ABGA has been mismanaged. The impression that people have that is for sending part of the country, and there's no money. If we're talking about money, people that are running that, putting all those $100 million, 100 million naira, and what? Let them put it in ABGA. Let me see ABGA and Taraba State. Let me see their functional office. You don't give people that option. Just because one candidate, one thing happens in Narsarawa and Taraba and Plateau State, you think that is what it takes, for you to convince the whole millions of people in Kano and Kaduna State, to vote for ABGA. It doesn't work that way. Let's go back to the science of politics. That means, okay.
Let me mention something to you. Do you want to say that the $100 million naira that APC is selling
to be part of the PRP party? Because I'm done with talking. Okay, I'm ready for change, and we have a woman. I support a woman under the one of the presidential candidates under the PRP. That's the person that I go and advocate for. And every day that I wake up, I try to judge her. She becomes victorious. So all this conversation, anybody that is here that is not part of a party, if you are part of APC and PDP, you're part of the problem as well. Come to PRP or find one of the 50 parties and belong to. Let's form an alliance tomorrow. Okay? And I'm telling people, let ABGA take the charge, because you have people in the East that have the wallet. You control the banks, you control the businesses, even in Lagos and everywhere. Let's put the resources together. I'm ready to be part of my village. I'm ready to work with people in my party to make sure that alliance is formed. Let's form alliance tomorrow, and tomorrow will guarantee that equity that you're here, asking for, it will be given tomorrow. Plus, let's go back to the science of politics and stop, just whining and just unnecessarily, just coming up with all frivolous excuses. Let's do 1, 2, 3 things. Leave the APC and PDP. Go to another party. Let's form alliances, a strong alliance. 50 parties. Let's consolidate. If ABGA wants to take lead, let them take the lead, because they have the financial capacity. They have people within their orbit to make that happen. So if we're really serious about change, because another 4 years, I'm telling you, you on your phone, if you're walking on the street, I'm telling you, somebody's going to knock off your head and grab that phone, because it is that bad in the country. Economically, I'm telling you. So if we really want change, if we want to be done with just, we want to go beyond just singing on Twitter space, if we want to really trigger that change, I believe we can still take over that, we can still have the person that we need, that equity and justice that you want. Tell people of ABGA, let them show leadership. All the people that are paying 100 million to APC, take your money back and let's, go back to ABGA, form an alliance. I'm ready to deliver to Taraba State, just like I'm doing for PRP, putting my resources in my village, have people to come up with people's manifesto, and let's do this politics the way it is. And use the technology, apply the technology, data analysis, and other things that the other brother talked about, and deliver. It's a science of politics. You cannot do one part of it and expect victory. It's not going to work. And quote me on that. I'm Eric Agaman. I'm still running for the governor of Taraba State, and by the grace of God. And it's not do or die, But I'm going to make sure I give these people a battle of their lives. I'm telling you, that energy from SARS. I'm telling you, I'm going to channel, and I'm channeling and making sure these people, even if they come out, if they become they're victorious, it will trigger change. It's not going to be business as usual. Let's abandon the party. We have 50 parties. Let's start with ABGA, PRP, and those that are blemished, and let's show these people how this is done. We have the infrastructure. The infrastructure are human beings. I'm not a zombie that somebody is going to force me to go and vote for somebody that I don't like at the polling booth. Nobody sticks a gun on your head, on your forehead to go and vote for anybody. Unless if you are only
our country. The Bible says where there's no vision, the people perish. It was vision 2020 we knew. 2020 has come and gone. All the refineries are dead. The roads are dead trapped. What is the vision of the country? What are we working towards? The Bible says write the vision and make it plain so that he that reads it will run with it. Buhari said change. Change what? Nothing has changed. So what is the vision of the country? That is the big question I ask everybody on this platform today. Nigeria is a small country. Let's not be deceived. Nigeria is only 923,000 square kilometers. That's 1/10 the size of Canada or America. This Boko Haram, all those things are distractions. One missile can level the whole of Sambisa forest. Let's not deceive ourselves. Let's look at the big picture. We are talking about the micro issues of Nigeria. Nobody on this forum has spoken about the macro issues. The macro issues are even more important than the micro because you owe your lenders $80 billion. Look at the war in Ukraine and Russia. It's a macro issue that led to a micro issue that is destroying Ukraine. It was a macro issue that led Afghanistan to where it is. Nigeria is not an ambitious country because when Nigeria was going about Africa, restoring government, at that point in time, if we had an economic vision, we would have expanded the borders of Nigeria. There is no reason why Togo is not a part of Nigeria because Togo's economy, Benin's economy, which is their port, the port of Benin, Cotonou, is dependent on Nigerian economy. So why let them smuggle the things in and not pay duties to us? Why don't we carve that country into becoming part of our country? Why is Ghana, which shares similarities with us, not a part of Nigeria? Why is EU? EU is a bloc, 53 countries. United States of America, 50 countries. The Nordic nations, the Scandinavia, Norway, Iceland, Greenland. There is no vision. Nigeria is the leader of West Africa. We're the largest economy. We should dictate. America has NAFTA, an economic agreement that coagulates the economies together. We just went to Liberia, wasted billions, put a government back. Who does that? When America went to Iraq, you think they came back empty-handed? Nobody goes to war and come back empty-handed, even in the Bible. You take the spoils of war. But we just had military leaders who went to just waste our money and there was no stake. Only Obasanjo restored the government of Sao Tome and Principe and we formed a joint developmental basin and Nigeria benefits from that today. And the issues we face today in Nigeria, either Boko Haram, banditry, herdsmen and whatever, is from our borders. If we had vision and we expanded our borders far beyond what it is today, we will not have an issue in Nigeria. Why is Russia fighting Ukraine? They don't want anybody by their borders. So we should discuss the issues. But the big issue is what is the vision of Nigeria today? And let's not be deceived. Without technology and research and development, you are going nowhere. Israel has the largest patent per capita globally. America is also a large patent owner. How many patents do Nigerians have? We're talking about Igbo, this. We need money. Don't say money bags. Everybody spends money. To get power, you must spend money. America spends money. Trump spends money. The Republican Party is very rich. So we should not be confrontational with people. We should win people over. Jesus won people over with love. Let's win people over. If we think we have a vision, if we think we want to set up a movement, if we think we want to transform Nigeria, it is possible. Lin Kuan Yew did it in Singapore. We can do it in Nigeria, but not by insulting and fighting within ourselves. Forget insulting the old men. They've done their best. Buhari has done his best. When Buhari go, you will still blame another. No blaming anybody. Let's hold it. Let's take our destiny in our hands. What is the vision of the country? If anybody can answer that question today, then we can start talking. What is the vision of Nigeria? Please, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Afri Sada City, can you go ahead? You've been
Good evening.
for a long time. Hi,
Yeah,
good evening.
thank you very much.
Can you speak up, please? Can you speak up?
Can you hear me?
Yes, it's better now.
Yeah. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. I would like to start with the rebuttal. The last speaker said that Buhari has done so much. I want to disagree. Buhari has done nothing.
I said he has done his best.
His best. His best was destructive to Nigeria. That's what
Oh,
I'm saying.
insult him like he saw the military. Keep it up. Don't worry.
It's not
Military is
insult.
bad. Colonial master is bad. PDP is bad. APC is bad. Buhari is bad. You are good. Stand up. Let's vote for you.
Okay, I'm not contesting for the office of the president. If I was,
They're not coming
I
and defend
would.
a president. How dare you speak of a president like that? He's done his best. He will soon finish. Put your candidate forward. Let's vote for him. Let's discuss ideas.
Hold on a bit. Let him speak. Don't worry. Hold on a bit. Let him speak.
I think you should be civil. You know, if you say Buhari has done his best, he should tell us what he did. That we are his best. At least the argument should be constructive in that way. But nevertheless, let me come back to the deal. He was not given the opportunity to, or perhaps he was told that he was going to sign a pact with the power brokers. That is Chris Oba and his family before he could become the governor. Eventually, Ngige was the one that signed the pact. P2B refused, left the PDP and went to Apuga. And so when he went to Apuga, Apuga was formed. He won the election, but because the power brokers that were supported rather, and anyone can look it up online. But then P2B went to court. After 3 years, he reclaimed his mandate. The rest is history. Back to the Igbos not participating in the Nigerian politics. I find it very interesting and also very mischievous that some Nigerians, when it comes to the Igbos, the narrative changes. Since 1999, the Igbos have contributed immensely to Nigeria's democracy. I'll give you points. Number one, in 1999, the Igbos voted more than the Southwest.
Africa, I'm sorry to cut you short. See, a lot of people have been on this space for quite a while. People have been speaking, and people have said all these things that you are saying. Can you say something new on how to move this country forward? Analysis leads to paralysis. These stories that you are telling us, a lot of us have said it. We've agreed on this platform that it is unfair in terms of justice and for unity in this country that we should not consider our Southeastern brothers competent. I have a lot of friends in the Southeast that are more than competent. We've agreed on that. Nobody here has cast aspersion on any Igbo person saying that Igbos are not competent to rule this nation. So that is not the direction of our conversation right now. We have agreed in unity on this platform to say that there are more than enough Igbos who can rule this nation competently. Now, the way forward. We need a vision for this country.
With other 40 plus other parties and take over this thing. Anybody that belongs to APC, PDP, withdraw your membership, be part of that coalition. I think you should add to that conversation. You know, we're not pointing fingers at anybody. Nobody. We're just saying it's the science. You know, politics is science, and you have to do it more wholly. You know, like it has to all the components. You have to cover all your bases. You cannot do two parts and think is going to deliver presidency for you. You have the opportunity to now is one of the most in terms of recognition. Abga is one of the most in terms of name recognition, right? We can ride on. Let them show leadership, and we are ready and part of PRP, and not. Nobody controls me in Taraba State. I have people, I have influence, and you just need to Kaigama, go and search for the Kaigamas in Taraba State. We're not just so